All right, everyone. Welcome back to Honest Hour. We got another live stream episode on this beautiful Sunday. This brother here hit my wavelengths. We've been trying to do this interview for like 3 months. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it's just been time zones. We've been, messaging. I have this Instagram for this that I don't really use, but I've been looking into this brother. He is a producer. He is Jesus. I looked at it. I didn't even write it down, but he produces. He's on Spotify. He gives advice to artists. And in his own way, he is an artist. He does so much more. I'm honored to have him on the show. I'm probably gonna say his name wrong because he just told me and I forgot. I know it's Cruzer Urameshi.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yep, you got it. You got it.
I got it. How you doing today, my brother?
Man, I'm kicking it, man. I'm up, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy, you know what I'm saying? It's a cool day, man. So we rocking and rolling, man. How about yourself, player?
I can't complain. I can't complain. Just did my sports show this morning. Now we got an interview here. That's always a great day when people who aren't where I am like find me and they want to come on the show because this show started really as a leeway for local artists near me. But as I start to advance and start to really grow the craft, I've had people from all over. So it's really humbling. I take a lot of pride in this podcast and the work that I do. So I appreciate you reaching out and wanting to come on and have an interview.
Of course, man. I love seeing people grind and like when I see pods that have that align the things that I'm in or to help other people grow, I'm always down to help out. And I know my story and many things that I've done can help not only just other people out there that was in my situation, also help people prevent themselves being in these situations or just to give outlet and with my influence that I do have help bring more audiences to you, to your platform as well. So it's all equal and equal parties for everybody, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's all about working together, working hand in hand. you
Mhm.
know. So we are live streaming this, but just so you know, this episode will air again on our network this Thursday. I
Yeah.
believe is the date that we set. So it'll air again on our network this Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So to make sure I put that in there. You'd be like, wait a minute, it ain't there. Like,
Say
but
less,
we
say
will get all
less.
that information. So I'm gonna hop right into it, man. Where were you originally from?
I'm from Columbus, Georgia. For those that don't know, that is 4 hours south of Atlanta. And I moved around my whole life. I grew up in Atlanta. I started making music at 16, but I lived in 5 states currently,
Wow.
six. Yeah, so I moved around quite a bit. But I'm originally born and raised in Georgia, lived in Alabama, lived in Arkansas. So I bounced around and after I graduated, like a week after I graduated high school, moved out to the West Coast for 5 years. And then at the end of 2020, when things still shut down, I was already traveling for music, but I was just like, let's just go into it. But I'm from Georgia, man, born and raised. I ain't been out on the West Coast about 10 years, and I ain't let the whole West Coast change me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's different from the South to there. The food, the weather, the
Oh man,
experiences, the
facts.
time.
Yeah, the time, everything. You hit the first point in the head was the food, man. The food is totally different out here.
And I've never been out west. I've been down south. I got family in Tennessee and Memphis, so I've been to some southern parts. And
Okay,
I'm here in New York, so you know,
where?
but west I've never gone. I will get there one day. I
Oh,
will
it's
get
cool
there.
out here. The West is cool. It's a lot more laid back and chilled out for the most part. East Coast, because I've been out, the first East I've been was Massachusetts, and South my homies out there to say some studios. Um,
Okay.
out there. And that's like the furthest north I've ever been. And like being out East Coast is it's different, man. It's more faster pace. Which is I'm cool with it though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's more faster pace. West Coast is more like laid back, chilled out. You know what I mean? Everybody, for the most part, they like to wind it in by like 1 a.m. on a Saturday. So,
Oh man, that's early.
yeah, right.
You come to New York, it's like 4 a.m. People trying to wind down.
Right, man. They don't sleep over there out East Coast. That's one thing I will say. It's like you get a nap, you get a power nap for 30 minutes, maybe an hour. After that, hey, we gotta go.
Let's go. We're moving along here, you know.
Right.
So growing up, you said you moved around a lot.
Hmm.
So you really weren't in one location. What
Right.
was your family like though? Like your parents, any siblings?
Yeah, I got siblings. I'm the middle of five kids, so I'm child number
Okay,
three. So like my second brother, he's 4 years older than me, and my younger brother is 4 years. I'm 4 years older than him, so I'm literally like can't be no more middle child than that. You know what I'm saying?
no,
So
no.
right, it's so crazy. And then like it was just my mom and all. You know, my mom she grew up single mom, raised five kids. She did the best she could. You know what I mean? And
God
like
bless.
we always moved around, right? And you know, it's strange. It's like when they're growing up as a kid, you kind of like in a situation because I went to five high schools, two middle schools, I think
Mm,
13 or 14 elementary schools. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's weird in the moment. You don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? And like when I got older, it helped me be so open-minded because I've seen so many different experiences. I've seen how people move and operate. So
right.
it was definitely a unique experience to say the least. And like while I didn't understand it at the time, but as I got older, I will say like at times I'll catch myself in a moment of reflection and being like, dang, like I'm kind of aware of certain things that you already don't know. And my decision making helped out a lot too, because when you're younger and you have to make certain decisions that can impact your day, I learned the effects of consequences, both positively and negatively, off of choices I made early on. So as I got older, I was able to see the bigger picture a lot faster than many of my peers.
Mm. And that's due to just moving around and not being in one place. And
Yeah,
also it has you get an understanding for sometimes things aren't you may not know the reason why something's happening, but you can see or feel rather something's wrong
yeah,
or something's not
right,
going the way it needs to go. So those kind of I always believe that the experiences we go through when we're younger set us up for something far larger when we get older.
right,
And and if you don't go through those things and you ignore those things, it's going to be like, well, I didn't know this, but
mhm,
something tried to teach you it. Everything
right,
happens for a reason. Everything happens. There's a purpose and a reason behind everything. And we
right.
can't fight that at times. We just have to go through it.
Ain't that the truth, man? Ain't that the truth?
It's an unfortunate truth, but it is the truth.
Right.
So I see Star Fox in the back. So
Yes,
the next
sir.
question will kind of lead me there. What were some of your interests and hobbies as you were growing up?
Gaming and reading comic books was my two of my things. What else I used to rock with? Playing sports was my thing. I played track. I ran track. I played rugby for a little bit too. And overall, growing up as hobbies, I watch sports. I'm huge on the NBA. I know a little bit about. I know football just as good. Well, not as good as I know NBA, but I know football.
Right,
I can hold a football conversation for sure.
right.
Um, so I was big in sports, comedies. Started to get into a little bit of movies, like watching movies and stuff like that. And voice acting has always been one of my things too. But I've always gaming is huge for me for sure.
Well, I was able to get through some of the first project I was able to find. It spoke out because it had a Nintendo 64 controller on it.
Yeah,
And
Cruzer
I was just
64.
like, Yeah. I was like, oh, so this gamer. I can fuck with that. I game too. I got PS5, Xbox, oh Lord, Switch. I got the classic systems when they remade them. I don't have as much time as I used to, but I still do
Right.
find my time to game. It's my way to unwind.
Nah, it really is, man. Like gaming, like, it was so crazy because like I was away from gaming for a minute too, and then
Hmm.
the pandemic happened, and I remember at the time I had just bought the Xbox. It was like February, and I was just like, I was about to trade it in that same day, like 3 days prior. But
Yeah.
the dude was like, "Hey, man, you're pretty cool." And I was a local, I was a regular there. He was like, "Look, I know you do your music thing and everything, man, but I think you're better off just keeping this."
He was like, "No, you're not giving it back."
No, right, because like they didn't know what's going on. This is like I'm talking about like March 13th. I tried to trade in on like March 11th, and it was like, hey, we might be shutting down type of shit. So, and then
Oh, okay. So he was like, "You gonna be bored? Like,
yeah.
hold on to this because you might be bored."
Yeah, and boy was he right, and it was crazy. And then that's how I got into the Yakuza series too.
Okay, okay. So now, what was your first interest in music? What was the first thing you can recollect listening to that gravitated your attention? First artist, first song, first lyric, or first genre?
Ooh, first genre.
Anything that you could recollect was your first experience, whatever it may have been.
You know, the thing is, when you grow up in Atlanta, though, it's like it's just there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all of just you don't really remember so much. I mean, you may be some people may remember the lyric, but like for me, it was and it's just Project Pat. Um, it was Project Pat, the Chicken Head. Yeah, like that
Them
was my
ball
shit.
chicken head.
Right. So it's like Project Pat and like just the whole 3-6 and everything. Cause like, North had both Wu-Tang and Dipset. So like
Mm-hmm.
South, we just had 3-6 and we was cool with it. Like
Yeah.
we ain't getting mad about it. We always show love to Wu-Tang and even the Dips. But like 3-6 was just the South. Like everybody in the South fuck with 3-6.
Right.
So it's like it was definitely Project Pack in particular stood out because like and then like the syllables too, the factor, like that shit was hard. So it's like and it was like it was smooth too because he was talking pimp shit and like just hustling, you know what I mean? But like we vibing out and it's cool. So like Project Pat for sure was the first artist that like really was like he just hit different. And then Hustle and Fly, like just always just as a kid, like yeah, Outcast too, definitely, but like them three
Mm-hmm.
six videos, like every day when I used to get home from school, it was always a 3-6 Mafia music video on like my t television. Every like when I'm doing homework from school, a 3-6 Mafia music video coming on. And then like when we're about to have dinner, a 3-6
Three six.
Mafia videos on out at 106 in Park, one of the artists. So it's like that shit was huge to me. So 3-6 definitely in Project Pat too. So those are my that was probably the introduction right there for sure.
And not to mention 3 6 Mafia and UGK are probably two of the greatest groups ever. And I don't listen to much Southern music because a lot of it's very, for me, let me not
Yeah.
say in general. For me, I just don't hear it. I don't see it. It's just not for me. But there are certain
Right.
artists that stand out. Like you said, Outkast. Um, J. Cole is from the South. Technically, Ludacris is from the South.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I love Ti, Young Jeezy. So there are
Mhm.
artists that hit, but then there's some like you're like, whoa, bro, wait a minute, wait, that's not the lane I like to go.
Right. No, I get it.
So
I get it.
I, I also like to play a game on this show. It's called Honest Picks.
For
So
sure.
I'm going to give you two things, and you just got to pick between them. You have two
All right.
categories.
Okay.
Hip hop producers and hip hop artists. So pretty much you just tell me which one you like based on personal preference. There's no real criteria or anything like that.
Okay. Bet.
The first one is Doctor, and this is the producer category. So this is just as a producer.
Okay. Bet.
Dr. Dre or Timberland?
Dre.
Okay. Kanye or Pharrell?
For real.
Jay Dilla or Just Blaze?
J Dilla.
Swiss Beats or Manny Fresh?
Manny Fresh.
Ninth Wonder or Scott Storch?
We'll go Scott Storch.
Hit Boy or No ID?
Hit Boy.
Madlib or Rick Rubin?
Rick Rubin.
DJ Quick or Just Blaze?
I'm gonna say Quick. That was hard because I'm gonna say Quick. I'm gonna go Quick.
Last one on this category is Q-Tip or DJ Premier?
DJ Premier.
All right, and now for the hip hop category. This is just as an artist, whichever one you like more. Tupac or DMX?
DMX.
Biggie Smalls or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar.
That one trips everyone up. They're like, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, what? Did you really just do that? See, I'm not really a fan of either artist. So that's why I put them together. And then, some people throws me off. They're like, yeah, like now Kendrick Lamar, it don't really throw me off as much as it used to. But
Right.
Jay-Z or Busta Rhymes?
Busta Rhymes.
Rakim or KRS-One?
Rakim.
Nas or Kanye West?
Nas.
Talib Kweli or Mos Def?
I'm gonna go Quali.
Redman or Method Man?
Oh man, I'm gonna say neither. That's
you,
tough. Both are equal, but both are super
you say
equal.
both.
I'm
You
saying
say
both on
both.
that one. I know we don't
You
like
say
doing that, but I'm gonna say both on that one, man, because that's tough. I can't pick between those two. Like
Listen,
I
I've
can't.
had people come on this show ready to kill me over some of the ones I've picked. Like I had one friend on here. We're going back and forth doing the game, and like there's someone in the comments like losing their mind, and I'm like reading the comments. She goes, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said the person they're yelling at me in the comments. They're like, "Oh, that." She's like, "That's my mama." I was wondering what she was yelling at in the other room. I'm just like, oh.
Whoa,
I was like, oh, okay.
right.
Common or Lupe Fiasco?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Lupe.
Okay. T.I. or Ludacris?
Dang, cause they had a beef too. Oh man, Ludacris.
Black Thought or Andre 3000?
Because I just don't listen to enough Black Thought, I'm gonna defer to 3K. I listen to more 3K
Okay.
more than Black Thought, but Black Thought, well, from what I've heard, listen to him, definitely power with the pen for sure.
Absolutely. Outcast or A Tribe Called Quest?
Outkast,
De La Soul or EPMD?
De La Soul,
All right. NWA or Wu Tang?
shit. Yeah, that's hard. And they so different, and they both meant a lot. I'm gonna go Wu-Tang. I'm gonna go Wu.
Yeah, that one trips people up too. Because like, wait a
Yeah,
minute, like because they're so different, but yet
so
they made they made so much of an impact, right? You
mhm,
know, in hip hop, you know,
right,
like you can't. How can you deny them, right?
right. Still making an
A
impact to
lot,
this day too.
exactly. Eric B and Rakim or Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
All right, Dipset or the Locks.
Dipset.
All right, and then we're going into the home stretch here. Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder.
Ray Charles.
Whitney Houston or Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin.
Michael Jackson or Prince.
But I'm gonna go Prince.
You're gonna go Prince. Wow,
Yeah,
you're one of the few that went Prince.
go Prince.
People hardly ever go Prince.
Yeah, I'm
Ever.
gonna go Prince
But
for sure.
it's the only
Uh,
right answer if you're not gonna pick Michael Jackson.
right.
That's
The
how I
only
take it.
person. The
Like
only person.
if there's anyone else other than Michael, because listen, I don't even let it be a conversation. Michael Jackson, the greatest artist ever. I don't debate it. It's just my opinion. There's no discussion. There's no fight.
Oh yeah,
But
1,000.
if someone picks Prince, I'm not gonna say nothing. But anyone
Right.
other than that, then we're having a problem.
I
we're,
feel that. I
we're
agree
having a discussion.
fully. I feel you. I feel
So you said you started working on music at 16.
that. Mhm.
And it was that producing music, like or what form did you start working on it? Was it always producing, or was it something else that then led you to producing?
It was producing at 16, but like my brothers at the time, they used to rap too in the garage and stuff like that when I was a little bit younger.
Okay.
And I was always around the music. Like even before they was rapping, like we was always around music living in Atlanta because everybody did music and I was able to see like the rise of like T.I., Gucci, Jeezy, Ludacris and everything like that because it's all right there in the backyard. Young Thug, even
Yeah.
to like now Thug, Rich Homie Quan, R.I.P. And all that. But I was always around music, but then when I started making beats, it was 16 and that's when it started. And I'm self-taught when it comes to music. No one sat down with me and was like, "Hey, bro, this is what you need to do." And at the time, YouTube wasn't around either.
Right.
So, with that being said, YouTube it wasn't what it is now. And I was like, and it was very hard to find YouTube tutorials in 2012, 2013. So I just was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna just figure out what these buttons do and go from there." And
Mm.
it was tough. Like, and then on top of that too, at the time I didn't have internet access like that either. So when I started making beats, I had a flash drive to get FL Studio from my school computer.
Oh man. So yeah, it was real tough. Like
Yeah,
it's almost as tough as I was watching an interview with Manny Fresh. And we know he's one of the most prolific beat makers. You can tell his beats from anyone else.
right.
Um, his beats are distinct. They got like a funky hip hop sound, right? Like it's
Hmm.
like it's like to me, Manny Fresh's beats is like funk, jazz, like band music, and like hip hop all
Right.
together.
Hmm.
And he was saying how a lot of those beats he made, the majority of was on one. I don't know what it's called, but it was one
The 8 bit.
machine.
The 8-bit machine.
Yep, and he said it had 8 beats, like 8 or 9 sounds. I'm like, you made
Yeah.
beats off of
Mhm.
that?
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
sounds
I knew exactly what he's talking about. I've seen those before and actually made a few beats off of that before.
so so you actually can know. It sounds like you really had a similar upcoming with that because
Yeah.
you were limited on what you had to work with to get the beats made.
Mhm. Yeah, and then like when I started making beats, like my first year, because I made my beats in FL Studio. So
Hmm.
when at the time when you had a demo version of FL Studio, you can only work on one beat at a time. And
Oh, that's
like
what
yeah,
that was Fruit Looms, right? Or Fruity Looms?
Fruity Loops, yeah, Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
And when you worked on the beats and everything, like on the demo, you couldn't like exit out the studio, exit out that session. You had to like get the full version. So if you like walked away from your computer and if you turned it off, you lost that session. If you click exit out that beat, you lost that session until you got the full version. So my first year, I just focused on the demo, and that was my choice because I sold my first beat for $70 within 3 months of making beats to a
Wow.
substitute teacher. So it's like I could have bought the demo version then, like the full version then,
Right.
but in not doing so, I was like, it made me focus on one beat at a time and doing
Mm,
that for a whole year. And then once I got comfortable with it, and I started experimenting with like saving beats later, because like that's where like a lot of people who've been around me they always ask me how I make beats so fast. I just focus on one beat at a time. And I'm not a perfectionist to say because I don't seek, in my opinion, I feel like people who are perfectionists are trying to seek validation from others. People gonna not like your
right.
music regardless. So just get to the point to where like, and I didn't have no speakers like that either. So like I had like terrible ear candy headphones, and at one point my headphones broke. So I just focused on just making beats from my computer speakers because like
Wow.
that's how you get the real sound from it. So when I tell people I make beats without headphones, like I'm just listen to the computer monitors. So that was like my thing when it came to like beats, and this is all when I'm like still in high school and everything too. So by the time like my junior year come around, I done went through a lot of trials already and like experimenting and like I wasn't where I'm at now, obviously, but I had the work foundation there. And I thought, and to me, that was the most important part because I was like, if I can figure out the workflow of my work foundation, everything else is easier. I could figure out everything else.
Right. Right. It's just about working. So you're saying that structuring of doing one beat really kept you on one beat because
Hmm.
now you pretty much it taught you to lock in, do the beat, and complete the beat.
Hmm.
Because you didn't have that option to not complete the beat. So now you've
Right,
trained your mind like, okay, you need a beat, I got it.
right,
So
exactly.
what's your creative process like? Like, because listening to your beats, and I don't hear a lot of like sampled music. Maybe I'm wrong, but and
Hmm.
if it is sampled, I may not be familiar with the music you're utilizing. But it seems pretty original, a lot of it from the outside looking in. And it's kind of like I said, certain artists have their own, certain producers have like beats that don't sound like anyone else. Manny Fresh, Pharrell, and Timberland are the three that come to mind at first.
Hmm.
So, in that regard, I would put you in that echelon with them saying your beats don't sound like anyone else.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, man. For real, that's a huge accomplishment, man. Like, and I rock with those three, especially Manny Fresh. Um,
Absolutely.
none of my stuff, I don't sample as much. Um, I think I've sampled 3 times, 3 or 4. Like I've sampled songs a few times, but majority of my stuff that's out, I don't sample. Like if I'm putting something out on like Spotify and stuff like that, no sample. Like I think I maybe sampled like 2 songs if that made it out to the major platforms. but I
Right.
don't sample anything for real. I prefer doing everything from scratch. No midis from others unless I know the producer directly, and even then, it's like I do everything like free-handed. No samples, no arcade. I just go in off the top and just wherever I'm feeling in that second, just go in. And I've never had beat block before, which is a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them that because I feel like I don't force sounds to be there. I make what I'm feeling in that moment, and I don't overthink my sounds. So I just focus on creating what I'm feeling in that moment and let it all be natural. Tweak up the mix and stuff if we need it, sure. But for a lot of my stuff, I don't sample, but I've sampled in the past. Personally, I'm not a big fan of sampling, just because I feel like sampling is a lot of problematic in the sense of everything else on the back end when it doesn't need to be. And I'd rather create something new than to just rehash something that people are already used to. And I just feel like just the last 3 years alone, everybody's sampling songs that were just made in like 2016. It's like, come on, bro. Like, don't
Right.
sample stuff that we already know. Like, and if I was to sample, I would probably sample stuff that like we're in 2025. I'm sampling stuff from like the 30s, 20s, even
Mm,
like going back. I'm going that far because I don't want to sample stuff that like people may have heard or like from the 70s. Because like I wanted it where it's like you question, hey, is this a sample? Like, but
right.
I appreciate that you put me into that category with those three, man. That's tough. So much love, man. I appreciate that because I do
No,
my best to be original.
absolutely. Because like I said, they don't sound like anyone else. Now, not to say that those three gentlemen don't sample, you know,
Right.
but I can hear that there's no sampling like that. And
Hmm.
also when you look at it, it also means a lot more and when you don't sample because it saves you headache because
Hmm.
there's one artist I had on here, good friend of mine. His name's GM. He's a big LL Cool J fan. So he
Hmm.
sampled Jingling, and he explained to me, um, some of the obstacles you have to go through when you sample songs, clearances, and all that different stuff. And it's not fun, just to
Hmm.
clear a sample, you know, and
Right.
for you, that's one less headache that you have to
Hmm.
deal with because they might be like, nah, you can't use this or you can't use that or I don't want you to use this. It's like, the clearances are a lot of artists tell me clearances is a problem. That's
It
that
is.
clearance samples is a problem.
It is, and like half the time you gotta find who. So if you could find the direct artist, like most of them may be all right with it. Um, and it's how about going about it. But sometimes it's whoever owns the master of that track too. So and if it's a label, yeah, you about to be waiting probably like at least like if it's fast, probably a year.
And sometimes you
It's
got to pay too for the clearances.
yo, yeah, you gotta come out of pocket. Like, and you ain't paying no like 2,000, $3,000. We talking at least like I had a conversation with a dude. He told me straight up that like he sampled a track. They was trying to give him like 125,000, and they said they may work with him. And he was just like, he was like, y'all good. And then he was like, can I just put it on my YouTube channel? Then he was like, nah. They told him no. Like he wasn't trying to monetize him. He trying to just get views, but they told him no. Don't even do that. So it's like,
Yeah,
damn.
it's a lot. So
Yeah.
being you don't do that, it takes a lot of time.
Mhm.
A lot of time. Or it doesn't take time from you having to put out music.
Right.
So I found some. I like to ask some difficult questions as well.
For sure.
and I found a few that I think will give substance to even what we just said. So this question really sets out for me.
Hmm.
Describe a time when you had to deal with a difficult artist during a recording session. What was the situation? What were your specific tasks during that recording session? What actions did you take to work with the difficult artist and ensure the session went smoothly? What were the end results in terms of quality of recording and the artist satisfaction with the outcome?
Oh man, I got too many. Shit. We're gonna go back to 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll use that time frame. In a studio session, and the artist himself was struggling with his bars. And
Okay.
it's a whole lot of people in the room too. And for context, I make beats fast as hell. Like I'm talking about, like he wanted to pull up, see what we was about. I was like, cool, make the beats. Mind you, no like presets or anything, and I got I got preset mixes, but like
Hmm.
I'm going in fresh. Like I pull up the laptop, I get to working. I made a beat 10, 15 minutes, ready to go, structured out, everything. This dude, when I was just like, hey man, you ready to drop something? And he was like, look man, I ain't even gonna lie, man. I thought all you did was smoke. This is the funny part about it. People who know me, I never smoked before. I didn't have my first drink until I turned 21, so I don't even partake in any of that. So I'm like,
Wow.
wait, so you thought I was lying, bro? Like, what you trying to do? Because like you wanted to pay the session, he booked up half of it, right? And he was just like, man, look, I got anxiety. I was like, oh man, so we got folks because like when we used to pull up at the homie spot, we used to just cook up, make beats, and then people would record the songs right there. So we just
Right,
stopped doing that because I was like, dang, everybody's getting intimidated with the beats, and there's a lot of people around too. So when he said he had anxiety, I pulled him to the side because I'm cool about the situation. I said, look, bro, like, and I asked him, how old are you? He was like, look, bro, I'm 23. And I'm like, look, bro, I'm 22. I host a radio show. I got placements at the time with Shoreline Mafia, Check the Star, Hot Boy Turk. So I'm like, look, bro, I'm not an asshole. And I told him straight up, I said, look, I'm not an asshole, but you're fucking up. You gotta tell it to him straight. He's like, you're fucking up.
gotta let them know.
You gotta let him know. I said, look, if you go to a studio and pull this shit, like them other studios, they probably would have whooped your ass
Word.
off rip. You would have got beat up twice in the studio and in the parking lot. Like I'm telling you this. So like I'm not saying that don't do music, but ask yourself, do you want to do music as a whole? I'm
Right.
respectful about it. So you gonna go whatever you do. I'm gonna go back in this door. I'm gonna finish this beat, and I'm gonna still work on music. I'm not saying you don't. I'm not gonna look at you no differently because you paid your part and at least you paid your portion of it. You already paid up some of it.
Right.
Your action is going to determine how they view you, and your first impression is everything. You already set the shit up wrong. I'm not worried about it. Not because I didn't get paid, because I just believe when I make a commitment, whether it's paid or not, I'm going to fulfill it regardless. That's just my mentality. So
Absolutely.
I'm maintaining professionalism regardless. I don't believe in professionalism necessarily make you paid. That helps, but it doesn't make you pay. But so I told myself, based on your actions, And I told him, I said, look, your marketing is through your reputation and through your reputation is how people are going to view you based off your actions. You already say you got
Mm-hmm.
anxiety and you already goofed up. So people in here looking at you really weird right now. I'm gonna go in here, I'll let you cool down, get you some fresh air, I'm gonna get you a cup of water. But if I walk back in here and you not in within 10 minutes, that situation's on you. No hard feelings, but I understand. He didn't come back.
So
He didn't come back.
he was done.
He was done. He was done. But people that was there was like, yo, Cruzer, like, I don't know if you handle that shit the right way, but I understand it. And they said, look, you're the only person that could handle that the way you did because you have enough respect and rank to where it matters.
Right.
So, in that sense, was it a difficult situation? Yes, because the vibe messed up everything for everybody else. So, maintaining what I did it to get the vibe back, I just made another beat, make sure everybody was good. And I said, yo, my bad, y'all. We good. Everybody was like, yo, you present an opportunity to somebody, they wasn't ready. So, you stay ready, you got to get ready.
Yeah, you got to stay ahead to get ahead.
Right. 1,000. So, but
So,
yes, that's just crazy.
absolutely. So, walk me through a situation where you had to produce for an artist who had a specific requirement that differed from your usual style of production. What was your task in that situation? What actions did you take to ensure the artist's requirements were met while staying true to your own style of production? What were the end results in terms of quality of music produced and the artist's reaction?
Ooh, that's a good one. Actually, I could say this story openly. Um, he ain't gonna trip about it because that's my dog, and I still rock with Bill to this day. Um,
All
my boy
right.
Bill's Bones. And that's my dog, man. He one of my favorite artists I worked with. So this is 2023 when he hit me up when we dropped our first song. It's called "Eye of the Dragon," and people love that song still to this day. At the time, I wasn't making rap at all. Like I'll make raps in like live streams. And even then, like I had stopped doing live streams for like a year and a half because like I was traveling the road and all other type stuff. So
Right.
this is like so for 2021, after I dropped Hot Dog, I didn't do no rap songs for 2 years. I was focused on lo-fi and synthwave. So like I wasn't focused on making any rap beats, period. I had rap beats, but I wasn't focused on like, and I had rap songs coming out, but I myself wasn't focused on being a rapper, hip hop rap producer, like lo-fi, doing Spotify tips, all that stuff. So that's where all that stuff coming in. It's important for the story to answer the question. Um,
Okay. No worries. Do you think?
right. Bill Bonds hit me up and was like, "Hey man, I see that you like been doing your grind, bro. Like, I want to know, like, I got this song for whatever reason. I think it was like a Dua Lipa song that like he wanted me to kind of like. I don't want to say he kind of wanted me to sample it. I got to look through the message exactly, but like, it's been so long and like, we've been chopping up since then. But like he was like, man, can you like sample this? And I was like, look, bro, I don't sample. I'll listen to the beat and I'll kind of go from there. He had a sampled version of the song that he rapped to, and I
Okay.
kind of was my first reaction, initial reaction was like, shit. The reason I was like shit because I was like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I just listened to the lyrics and was like, okay, listen to the lyrics. And I focused more so on the lyrics rather than the actual beat. I just found the
Right.
original sample and was over the original song that was sampled, the original version of it. And this is a sampling trick for producers. If you guys want to get you better samples, it's coming from someone who doesn't sample but who knows some shit. Songbpm.com is a website I've been using for years. Went to the website, found the original sample. I found the BPM, and I found the key that this sample was in. And I kind of went off the tent, went off from there, and I was like, all right, let me just start with the beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I just listened to the main melody, kind of got the vibe from it, sped it up a little bit, and just put a little bit of groove into it. And then he had made the request to like he made the request and I made the beat, got it done. I sent him a recording of it, and this is all in the span of like 9 hours that I did it.
Oh
Did the whole
wow.
shit. So when I get to work, when I fuck, and he was showing love too. He was like, man, bro, I've been seeing your grind, bro. Like, you one of the most consistent. He's like, bro, you're probably the most consistent dude I've seen on music from Facebook. And like, that's another thing too. This is all internet. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh
bro lives in Montana. Yeah, right. So it's all like, you know what I'm saying? So we never been in the same room. So like we send each other
damn.
like voice memos and stuff like that.
DMs and yeah.
DMs and time zones and shit. You know what I'm saying? So we just like we catch each other. But like when I made the beat, I was like, because it was an initial beat. I made one. I made two actually. The other beat, I was like, it was cool, but I was like, man, this shit gonna be something else. Cause it ended up being like synthwave by accident. So that's like fuck. So yeah, so I was like, he ain't going with this shit, man. Let me tighten up.
Yeah, let me
So
switch it up a little bit.
right, because like I said, I wasn't making rap beats for a minute. So I was like, okay, let me just figure some shit out. And then made it got it all done in 9 hours. And I sent him the clip, like a 30-second clip of it playing. And he was like, oh yeah, this the one, bro. So I was like, shit, I ain't did a rap song in 2 years. Fuck.
Yeah, you like still got it though. Still got it.
I still got it. Right. So and then cause he had bought a custom track too. So and my custom prices are pretty high. It's a lot higher than like if I was like, bro, he's trying, he's fucking with me. So I was like, cool, I'll look out for Brad. He made cool music. So I was like, I'll fuck with you on a good deal. Gave him a deal. For artists that want to know, you're not getting the Bills Bonds deals. And like and he understands that like, man, yeah, that price is up, bro. So it's like I know what's up with you, Cruzer. And like many artists that work with me all said that like your price from back then ain't the same price now because your value is significantly going up. And then like what I did with
Yes,
Bonds too, I took it a step further. Right.
yesterday's isn't today's price.
Facts. And what I did with Bonds at the time, I gave bro like content strategy. I gave this man ideally you want to at least have 10 pieces of content. I gave this man 45 pieces of content, and I helped make 30 of them myself.
Wow.
Just on and I was like, I ain't do that shit on no like I'm trying to be extra. I just believe in bro that much for real. They're like, yo, you want to invest me, bro? I'll go the extra mile for you, and like it worked. Like I was the first song he produced that like. And I'm not to act like I like I just found the rough and diamond and the rough said I found Bill's Bonds like at the time when Bonds and I started working, he already had like I think almost like 2.5 million streams. So like bro got motion. Like he
Right.
got his own thing going. He had like maybe like 6 albums he had already dropped. So like he's been dropping music consistently. So he had his thing going. He had his sound down packed. I just gave him a little some more structure because I kind of like once I seen artists that hit me up and do like that, I do my homework and I saw what like he wasn't doing, and I just opened his mind up a little bit, and I just gave him some pointers, and then like we did I don't know how many streams that song "Eye of the Dragon" is at now, but I know it was doing crazy on Spotify, iTunes, and other platforms, and at one point it was at like I think like almost 100 streams because I know it's getting streams in like Italy, Brazil, Spain, and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that too, and I just put him onto the international wave, and then like Yeah, and then Boss was like, bro, like you got my first like the first song we did 100K streams, bro. Like I would be stupid not to work with you anymore. So
Well, and it's
yeah,
a testament. When reading, I seen you've had songs stream in a lot of different countries.
yeah.
Well, what countries have songs streamed in that you've done?
Shit, I'll give you countries you probably can't name, like Bangladesh, Taiwan, Thailand, Spain, UK, Germany, Italy, Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, UAE, Dubai, Iraq, Iran, Turkey, Australia, the whole country. Like I've tried Jamaica, Honduras, um, Mexico, Canada, Russia, Serbia, India, Malaysia, Uruguay, Paraguay, shit, Argentina, s- I'm trying to think more. South Africa, Sudan, Congo, Republic of Congo. Where else? Shit, I know there's more. But, yeah.
Man, but that's still a great testament
France too.
to
I
be
forgot France.
heard. you
Right.
know, to be heard in that many countries.
Mm,
To different ears and different people.
mm,
That's a testament to the work you have put in, and
mm.
I just say I'm proud of you, bro.
Appreciate
That that
it, dog. Sure.
that is definitely a big up for anyone in your situation.
Hmm.
So I want to know. You've worked with a lot of artists. We just became Facebook friends. I see you've been had some grinds with some Grammy award winning artists as well, or producers as well, or Grammy nominated. But who are some artists you would like to produce for? If you had, if you just had to say like anyone or anyone, any producer you would like. All right, three artists or other producers you would like to produce with, and three artists you would like to produce for.
To produce four Currency, Wiz Khalifa, Project Pack on the hip hop
Okay.
side. If I do like synthwave, I would love to produce for the weekend because a lot of people push me to do the weekend from a synthwave standpoint. Weekend,
Okay.
Lady Gaga, and I think she would be really great on one of my beats. Um, what's
Right,
the name?
because she's good.
Glorilla. I think Glorilla would be tough on one of my beats.
Yeah, Glorilla, like, gee,
She would be tough
she came out of nowhere last year with that album. I was like, wait a minute,
right? And then
where
prior to, go ahead.
I was like, where'd you come from with this? Like, you was there, but like, yo, you stepped up with that album.
She did. She definitely did. And then, as far as like who I would like to produce with, Pierre Bourne, definitely. Um, Juicy J, and then third, because he don't get a lot enough respect and love, in my opinion. DJ Toomp,
Mhm.
he don't get enough
Oh,
respect, man. He's so fucking underrated, man. Like, because he was T.I.'s main producer for like his albums and stuff like that, and he produced a lot of the hits from stuff like that people that know of. He did a lot of that work, so I'm like, he don't get his due, to me. So that would probably be the three, just because like I can learn game from him and like them older producers, like the ones that still hold around, like especially like with Juicy J.
mhm.
I can learn a lot. I feel like Juicy J, in my opinion, as I gotten older, I think he's the top three producer all time because like not too many people from that older generation resonate with the younger crowd. And the fact that
Right.
he never dropped off, like when I was in high school, Juicy J was still cool, but like not as many people in my age range was listening to Juicy J like that. But yet you got young kids who know who Juicy J is and shit like that. It's like in middle
Mhm.
school. So the fact that like he came out in the early 90s and transcended essentially like three generations of like artists and shit like that, and still make a huge impact. And like they fucking sample 3 6 Mafia all the time. Like, how can you not be? You can't be not top three of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if everybody's sampling your shit, like you got to be top three, top five, no question.
At
Like
most
at least
five.
at most five. Like, because everybody samples 3 6, and then, like when you look at Juicy J's catalog too. Because he don't got, because them older producers, that's one thing I don't like about the older producers, and it's not no slight on them. A lot of them didn't have tags.
Yeah.
So when you look up their catalog, you be like, yo, you produced this too? Like, shit. So, yeah, man,
Like, what
those
else?
are, right, those would be my three. And then honorable mention for the producer too, Lex Luger. He,
Okay.
he don't get enough respect either. Like, that's one dude I would love to have a sit down with for real. And like, cause just because like, he was probably like, when I started making beats for real, like, Lex Luger, at the time, it was Lex Luger, Manny Fresh, DJ Toon, and Southside. When I started making
Mm.
beats, that's all this too, and Zaytoven too. But everybody else was like cool. Metro Boomin was still. And this was before Metro Boomin was like where he is now. Like Metro was always in the background too. So it's like, but yeah, Lex Luger,
Mm.
yeah, because like he don't get enough respect either. He's probably one of the most underrated producers because he made FL Studio respected alone.
Yeah, and it's it's tough because a lot of producers also don't like to be in the spotlight. They kind of just like to sit back there, make the
Yeah,
beats, and a lot of the fans don't take the time to or take the wherewithal to put attention into how much goes in to making a song. Like people think there are people out there that think it's so easy to make a song. Hell no. There is so
no,
much that goes into making a song, like one song. So like, to make an album of songs, like
right,
yo, it is not easy.
right. And then
It
you
is
gotta think about this too. Like we're making like with me being a producer, like quality songs at that. Like original
yes.
and quality is hard as fuck to do, and to keep
Yes.
doing it consistently too. And like, and I think, and you know, he just said like it's a lot harder for producers. Like a lot of people don't view producers like that, and that's the thing I've learned. Like the way with the shift in music, it's kind of like you can't. It's because a few years ago you could be a bedroom producer and stuff like that.
Right.
While I think you still can be a bedroom producer, it's not as it's a lot harder to do that because you have to like have you even if you don't go out and show personality, you got to be out in the face networking with people, or you got to be open to be live streaming and stuff like that. Because if you're not doing one or the other, if not both, you're kind of like shooting yourself in the foot because like them days of just being one dimensional, them days was over in like 2016. So it's like you can't just think that, talent. And then I got a hot take that I ain't gonna say it's a hot take, but like Trey Score always gonna be talented no matter what. You can be talented as
Uh-huh.
hell, but like if you ain't got no quality traits, no one's gonna give a damn about you. So, and I feel like a lot of producers, so the producers I'm cool with, they understand that because they display a lot of those qualities compared to the producers that get mad and like, oh, da da da, like this artist ain't getting me nothing, and it's like it's a dynamic though, and I think more so now, it's at least it's not so prominent in the lo-fi or like synthwave or ambient music spaces, but like in the hip hop spaces, a lot
Right.
of people have said over the years, I like the beat, and so most of the time they just listen to the instrumental, not necessarily to the producer. So, but I think it's starting to become like more like that now because a lot of people are getting tuned out of listening to like the same 808s. Like we getting tired of hearing the spins 808, the fucking it's like it's more fucking 808s that's being used all the time. So shit getting old now.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, people are getting tired of listening to the same stuff. And like you said before, that's why you don't sample music because it's you're just adding to the recycle pile, right?
Right.
You're utilizing something that's already been used. Now, sometimes it may fit your vision or it may fit, well, not really yours because you don't like to sample, but it might fit that artist's vision, like the story you told. And you may not really want to do that, but sometimes you kind of have to compromise. And you found a way to keep true to what you do, but also give that artist what he had wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not easy. It's not easy. But you saying that brings me to your channel. You got a YouTube channel and you utilize Spotify to give artists advice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what got you into that lane to want to start giving out advice to artists, and how has that helped artists? And have any of those artists came to work with you?
Oh, how's that helped artists and how they came to me? That was the last question of the last part of the question.
Like, have any of the artists who have listened to that on Spotify have they come to work with you on music?
Yes. So to answer, okay, got it. So like when I the reason why I started doing the Spotify stuff was because it was getting to that point with my music to where like while I was working with artists, a lot of them was telling me like, Cruzer, we like your beats. We don't necessarily like some. We like some of the songs your artists do, but like we like your beats. So I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, well, streaming income, and I'm a producer, and from what I've been told over the years, I have fan. I've had legit. And I can say this too. I have legitimate fans as a producer, and as a music producer, that's very hard to get. Like it's hard getting fans in general, much less as a
Absolutely.
music producer. It's harder to get fans because we don't have catchy wordplay to get people to rock with us. So we got to get people to rock with us off of personality and strength. So
Right.
I started putting out songs because I was having a lot of rap songs that wasn't going nowhere, and dudes didn't know how to market, and everybody was like, "I'll give people quality ideas," and everybody was like, "Well, I want to do it, Cruzer." I'm like, "Dude, I'm making money off my shit. You don't want to listen to me? Fuck it, I don't care. Figure it out." Like,
Word.
like it's like I got placements, bro. You don't. I'm more quote unquote industry, music industry than some of these motherfuckers, but whatever.
Mhm.
Listen to the motherfucker with 30,000 followers. I guess. Go ahead. I started putting out the music, and it's so funny because like my because I started releasing music basically into 2019, like October, like November 2019, December. So it's like really
Right.
the tail end 2019. So my first full year of Spotify was technically 2020. My first year of Spotify did 135,000 streams, and
Still
like I
good.
wasn't even drop right. I wasn't even dropping like on a consistent schedule or nothing. I'm just putting random shit out.
Right.
And but my first Spotify follower was I was at like 700 followers my first year, and like on Spotify followers is dumb hard. So I started figuring out how to grow Spotify, and I was like, yo, this shit's not. If you have an idea on what your end goal is, Spotify is not
Hmm.
a hard platform to utilize it. And I just saw that everything that was like marketing and these bullshit marketers was like, oh, running scams and stuff like that. They only focus on Spotify. So I was like, you know what? I have my own music, and a lot of the stuff I did was free. Like submitting the playlist, free. Finding playlist curators, free. Submissions, free. Nearlyplaylist.com, free. I was doing all the free resources to where it's like, okay, like I can get to um these monthly listeners, and monthly listeners, I said this prior, monthly listeners don't mean shit. Stop caring about
Hmm.
that. And everybody You're just saying that, Cruzer, because you reached the 30,000 before. Some of us ain't you, where we don't have to promote music, and you're only saying that because you stayed at 10,000, 15,000 for 2 years straight. Well, yeah, because I know what the fuck I'm doing. But I say that to say this. Like when you have intention with your music and you know in metadata, like Spotify is to one platform that is globally recognized. So I just said, fuck it. Let me be the one and doing it with my music to showcase the shit in real time. And in the
Hmm.
process, I've had music marketers reach out to me more so than artists themselves. And
Wow.
while I've had artists, this thing though, like the artists who all like reached out to me, like Bill Bonds, Cruising, Martian, music producer, my dog, my music producer homie, Midwest Miles, reached out to me. Ice Age Beats, Vion, and Tony. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Those are producers. They all reached out to me, was like, yo, Cruzer, bro, like your Spotify tips is real. My boy out here in Vegas, Just B, bro, Cruzer, I love your content. My dog Jabo Report, who was like, he's the marketer. He's like, yo, Cruzer, bro, like I love your Spotify tips. You're actually you know what you're talking about, you know? So I've had even other like legit other marketers reach out to me and been like, yo, man, like you got all these followers doing this. I was like, yeah. And they thought I was that run ass. I'm like, nah, I just did it like this, do what I was aiming for and went for it. And I saw that so many artists focus only on Spotify, which that was never my intention at the time. While I was
Right.
focused on Spotify, I just pushed my music as a whole and I let other people listen to it. Just at the
Mm.
time when I was pushing, I wasn't necessarily pushing solely Spotify. I was just only pushing the song. Most of it for a lot of people, they just happen to have Spotify, and Spotify is the easier one compared to consumer friendly, compared to like Apple and like Tidal. So I said, okay, let me push it for our artists so that way they can use it. But now in
Exactly.
like 2023, 2020, in the mid 2023, half 2024, I just focus on like Apple Music, and then next year I'm just focus on YouTube. But it's like I've had artists hit me up and reach out to me, even from threads, and been like, "Hey, like, bro, your Spotify tips legit, bro." Like, I've had artists hit me up and say like, because I got it on a playlist shorts on YouTube, a playlist of it. I've had artists tell me
Yeah.
there's like, bro, I got like 30 followers listen to your tips on Spotify, bro. I've had artists say like, this is some of the best Spotify advice I've ever gotten. Like your stuff is useful. I've had artists say that playlist thing. I say like, hey, bro, go ahead and save it. It's like I'm not going to archive it and take it down because I'm like, fuck it, it's there. Like, I edit the bitch. Might as well use it.
Like once you put it up there, it's there. Even if you archive it, like someone will locate it somehow, some way.
Right. And it's like I'm not gonna delete it because it's like it takes more work to delete the shit. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna leave the shit up there. For real. Like I'll reshare if I want to share something out, fuck it, there it go. If I'm lazy, screenshot, make it a new piece of content. Like, there you go.
Like we got something out of it.
Right.
So if you had to say you had one big goal, one huge goal in your field of producing, what would that big goal be?
You know, to be honest with you, I'm kind of figuring that out right now because nah, because like it's crazy because like I just moved into my new place. Well, I moved in basically the day before my birthday. My birthday is November 28th, and it was happening on
Uh,
Thanksgiving. So, and I was
it's my
born on
daughter.
Thanksgiving. Oh, tough, tough. So
Two of my
like,
daughters. I got my 13-year-old and my 12-year-old. Both are November 28th, 1 year apart.
that's crazy. That's tough. But
It's
like,
wild, right?
right, super wild. But like, the reason why I say like I don't have necessarily a big goal right now is because when I acquired this place, music covered um my security deposit and it covered my first 3 months of rent.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, what is the next big goal? And even now, even then, like music, like has been covering me financially since at least I started selling my shirts in 2020. Started selling wristbands and bracelets on like projects and stuff like that. I need to make more of these. These are the SS Explorer bracelets. I'm going to
Okay.
make more for Adult Swim, but like music has been covering bills since at least like 2020 when I was selling my own t-shirts and everything like that. So like I was pushing shirts, so it's like financially music been covering bills since 2021 into 2020, and then from selling beats to streamers and stuff like that, got the crib, paid the first 3 months of rent, and you understand this from moving, like, and my mom she had told me this when I moved into my place, like, cause I after I moved. Got to move in. I flew out the next not even the next day, like 4 hours later, I flew out the state.
Wow.
Like I went to Oregon to go kick it with some other family for my birthday and Thanksgiving. But
Yeah.
when I came back and I had already had electricity on, Wi-Fi on, and I had a bed when I moved in on day one. And like as you move, people understand like you might not have a mattress, you might not have a TV, you might not have Wi-Fi on. So like the fact that I had a bed, running water, electricity on day one when I moved in and set up with a mattress full, like, you know, off the ground too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I did that all with music money. And it's
Mm.
it's like, I'm doing that. Like social media checks, pay bills. Like I was like, I covered rent and music is covering the bills and most likely for this term at least music gonna cover every bill in this house for till the end of my lease at least. So
Wow.
it's like when it comes to answering the question, what's the next big goal? It's just like now it's like the fact that I'm able to do that, coming up where I work, like, it was tough.
Right.
Especially everything I'm going through for moving around, moving across the country. It's like everything's full circle. So it's like now the next goal is just like help other people who want to work achieve it. Maybe like a sophomore getting a plaque, a
Mm.
gold record, and even that's
Mm.
kind of like I'm already having the success with it. Without it, all they're just gonna do is just make people, oh, let's do something. And it's like I've been around the music industry long enough, and I'm still under 30, so it's kind of like I'm cool off of that bullshit. It's like if I want to get signed, I could. I know A&R reps. I don't have a manager, so it's like I'm doing all this stuff with no guidance, no mentor. So it's like the goal is not maybe just connect with people. That's it.
I mean, once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean,
Right.
for you to have the wherewithal to do all that. Now, if you were saying to me, I want more, right? Like it seems like you're content right now, like in a
Yeah.
sense, you know? So if you were saying you want more, maybe those are then some avenues you want to go down and get that manager or get this or get that. But it seems like you right now, had you sit in your skin and where you're at in your career and in your life, that you're pretty comfortable for now. You just want to make sure that that's going to stay where it is before you start, doing
Mhm.
some moves that could alter your life. But to be able to have that dream of yours of making music and pay the bills, if you are already if you are already doing what you love, you ain't working,
Right.
you know?
1,000 and some facts. And like maybe goals or like maybe dive more into like sync stuff like that, which that's more of a skill set that I need to learn how to make sync beats better. But that's like
Hmm.
little tangible stuff like that. And where I'm focusing on now, I just want to help other people who I know I can like build with and like, hey bro, like I'm here. Like, what you trying to do? Like, cause these motherfuckers, you ain't, all the shit you going I can provide you more information than YouTube videos.
Yeah,
So it's like,
right.
what you trying to do?
Like what we talking about here? What we talking about?
Right, right. So that's more so where I'm at with it, and it's just overall, it's just like, 'cause, the goals, like, I always thought it was gonna take a little bit longer, but like when I really dialed in and like things happened quick, I kind of was like, oh shit, I'm here now.
It's here. I've arrived.
Right, and
So
then it's like becoming streamer, like focus more so on streaming and stuff like that too. So that's really one of the goals for sure. Focusing on streaming, like gaming streamings and stuff, gaming streams and stuff like that.
Yeah, you start hitting Twitch and stuff like that. You can make
Oh, I'm
money.
already. Oh, I'm already on. I've been affiliate. When I started my Twitch, it took me 3 weeks to get an affiliate. Well,
Oh
6 weeks.
man.
It took me 6 weeks to get affiliate. No, my bad. Not three. It took me
Oh,
6 weeks to get affiliate. But still, though, like from talking to Twitch streamers, everybody like, man, I've been streaming for 2 years and I'm not affiliate. I'm like, oh,
I'm like, oh, sorry, bro. Like, my bad.
right. Right. I feel bad. And I'm like, when I was talking to a few Twitch streamers, I was like, man, it took me like 6 weeks to become an affiliate. That's like 6 weeks. What the fuck you do, man? I was like, well, I helped out do music, bro, and had a name prior, but yeah, I talked to some Twitch streamers and they've had like 400 or 500 followers, and I'm like, you ain't need an affiliate yet, bro. I got affiliate before I hit 100 followers. Like,
Exactly. Like, well, people, it's different for everyone and everything that
sure,
you do.
right.
So as I get to the end here, I end the show on two different things. The first thing or the second thing is a positive ending message, something positive, uplifting that you say to the audience. But the other thing that I started doing this season is tell the audience something about you that they don't know. It don't have to be nothing crazy. You could tell me you like to put mayonnaise in your Pepsi, like something weird. It can be weird. It could be.
Mayonnaise in the you put mayonnaise in the Pepsi, you need to go to prison. Like, what the hell? That's oh, that's hilarious. One thing
And just
about me is mayonnaise in the Pepsi. Yo, that is crazy. Stay away from me if you do that, please. No. Oh man. Now I'm about to look at motherfuckers who got Pepsi and mayonnaise in their fridge different. Like, the fuck you doing?
oh yeah, gosh.
Holy shit, did you do that, bro? You need a chair, buddy.
Yeah, there's one quarterback in the league. He puts
I
mayonnaise in
know,
his coffee.
yeah. Yeah, I seen that shit. It was who was it? Was it Kirk? No, it wasn't Kirk Cousins. Uh Joe was it Joe Burrow?
Nah, I forget who it was, but he puts.
I know it was a white quarterback. Oh, that's all I remember. Like it was a white quarterback.
Of
I was
course,
like,
ain't no black
dang,
quarterback doing nothing nasty like that.
right. It's like, boy, you family ain't let you let that down. Um,
Not at
one thing
all.
that, right, one thing people don't know about me, um, my two favorite comic, well, I ain't gonna say, well, I'll put comic book. Yeah, they are. Two of my favorite heroes, and they actually both meant a lot of sentimental value to me, was Spider-Man and Nightwing, and they both play like huge roles in my life. Um, because like for different purposes, like Spider-Man, we can all be Spider-Man because we can all relate to him. And like the way I've navigated in my music career, in both Spider-Man and Nightwing, Spider-Man, and I've done this a lot with my career now, where I've helped a lot of bigger names, like
Mhm.
help assist a lot of people, being assistant to a lot of people, even with everything I had going on. Just help out when I can, and they always appreciated that because they know my intentions was always the right thing to do. And while I could be a good, well, I say could be, while I am a good advisor role to a lot of that, to the bigger people that's up on the food chain higher than me, they've
Mhm.
appreciated my intellect, they appreciated my effort, and they know like, hey, I'm always in the background. They need me. Sort of like Spider-Man is to the Avengers. Like, you got the Avengers, but like people know Spider-Man and shit. So I kind of did that role, and then Nightwing. The Nightwing one is huge because I read a lot of the Nightwing comics.
Right.
And Nightwing, he was the first Robin. So those that don't know, Dick Grayson's when his parents died, so Bruce him relatability was heavy. But as Nightwing went to Bloodhaven and everything like that, he wanted to separate from the identity from uh, Batman, and that he was no longer Robin, but he was Nightwing himself. And the reason
Mm.
why that relates to me because like my brothers was like super like growing up, everybody respected my brothers and everything like that. And like the high school that they went to, I was supposed to go to that high school, but I never did. So I kind of like had a Nightwing experience and like was on my own person because the high schools I went to, I didn't have my older brothers to look out for me. I didn't have like I went there by myself like all years. All the high schools I went to, I didn't have not one older brother know me or like know any people knew my brothers and everything like that. So I had to go and set the tone and like, hey, I'm a small person. So the Nightwing aspect really was huge to me. And I was able to carve out my own identity. And even my brothers now, they'd be like, man, like you legit your own dude, bro. Like, and not and I've always been like that. But
Right.
for them to know, they know that it's like, yeah, bro, like, even like my other brother the day he make a joke, he's like, man, bro, like, they loved you out there in Oregon, bro. I know you left and did your own thing, bro. But he was like, man, they love you deep over there, bro. And I'm like, yeah. And then my other brother down south, he was telling me, he's like, man, people still ask about you, bro. And everybody like, dog, like they really, like people really proud of you, Cruzer, for real. It's like you give a lot of people hope for real. You inspire so many people, and it's shown that you inspire people from like France and like other countries, and you got people that's tapping in with you, bro. So it's like you really inspired a lot of people, bro. So like even people from the down south, they've always said like Cruzer, like you really inspiring, bro. Like I'm proud of your journey, man. So it's like, so that would be the two things like that they don't know me about. And you said
Okay.
that, so yeah, a lot of people don't know about the Nightwing one for real. Like I said Spider-Man, like Spider-Man's one of my favorites, but like I never told like the full reasons why. You know what I mean? So you get that
Yeah.
exclusive, bro. Wanted to drop that
Appreciate
exclusive for sure,
appreciate
for
that.
sure.
And
And
the last positive ending message. Anything positive and uplifting from you to the audience.
this is a quote that I came up with. Um,
Go for it.
when you have things going on, when you have things going on in your life right now, understand that your mindset is the key to unlocking your fullest potential. Don't let the negativity that's going on throw you off your course and off your purpose. Stay focused on that and stay alert because everything that's out there that you want to do that's a slight distraction isn't going nowhere. So
Mm.
take that 10 minutes that 10 minutes where you don't feel like doing something, that's gonna mean something later in your life down the road. And I'm saying that as a dude who used to make beats. So I spent my whole high school career when I could have done stuff in the summer, I'm making beats every day. Like I'm making minimum 15 beats a day in high school during the summer. During the week, I'm making maybe like 5 to 8 beats per day during
Mm.
high school time. So take that one, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes if you can, even an hour. Just focus on that, and it will unlock your mindset. Because peace of mind is priceless, and when you have a peace of mind, you're not as stressed out. And that's just coming from me, and that's how I look at it. So peace of mind, unlocking the peace of mind, what you do, everything else is smooth for you.
Mm. I can't say that any better, man. That was deep. I like that though. We're gonna have to
Appreciate
clip
it.
that one up.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, it took a while, but hopefully you'll be back on the show down the road.
Oh, I will be. And you talk sports, bro. Shoot, if you want to do a sports segment in the future, I will jump on, bro. Playoffs right around the corner, so yeah, I could
Oh,
jump on. I know my sports, bro.
all right. So I'll talk to the guys. If you want to come on and speak with us about sports next week, maybe on Sunday. But we do that. Well, next Sunday's we got a It's gonna be 12 or 1 o'clock here. Um,
Okay.
so, but I'll keep you posted on that. And if you want to come on through. You can definitely chop it up with me and the guys on the sports. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that, man. I know my sports, man. Yeah, I know my ball pretty well, man. So I'm hip, bro. I know what's going on. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm hip.
we just we're going into being NBA heavy now with the playoffs coming and everything coming up with that. That's really what we're talking about. There are some NFL topics, but it's starting to get NBA heavy. Today was NFL heavy due to free agency, but
Right.
we definitely going to be chopping it up on the NBA tip.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely know my NBA for sure, man. So I know my shit, man. So I'm ready. You know, I could squeeze in next Sunday for sure. I can squeeze in next
All
Sunday.
right, talk it over with the guys, and I'll shoot you a message, and we'll make it happen.
Big bet, man. Appreciate you for having me on the platform, dog. It was a
Of
huge
course.
honor, man.
Oh
Huge
no,
honor.
appreciate you. It took a while, but we got it. We got it.
Right,
We got here
right.
and we're here. And I want to thank everyone who tuned in now. This episode will premiere this week on the COC network. Should be Thursday, 7 p.m. That's what we're aiming for. So please follow this man. Go look at all his stuff. Listen to his music. He's a dope producer, dope advice giver, and an even dope human being. So, you know what? Everyone enjoy their day. Be safe on this Sunday and tune in to Honest Hour on Tuesday. I'll have Brandon Carris on there, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.